Going on, everyone? Steve, North Country Forge. Today we're going to make a mason jar handle. So great, super popular, and they're great to drink your beer out of. Anyway, we're going to start out with 10 inches of 3/4 by 3/16 mild steel. Don't start with anything thinner, because every time you pull the jar out or push it back on, it's too thin and it loosens the tines up and it'll drive you insane. Anyway, let's get started. Okay, mark your steel out cold. It's 3/4 by 3/16. Don't do it with anything thinner, like I said. So we're going to mark it out from one end down 3 inches. Give it a center punch mark. Now from here, make sure it's center, because we're going to drill a hole in it. Okay, you can chisel these out. So we're going to cut right down the center, so you can either chisel it, or I'm cheating and using a bandsaw. It looks a lot better when it comes out on a bandsaw. So what I like to do is some chambers. Find center on this end. I mark it about every inch or so, inch, half inch, somewhere around there. Gives you a line to follow. We just connect the dots. Alright, we're just cutting right down center. Okay, before we cut it, I forgot, drill a hole. So you got your center mark there at 3 inches. It looks better when you spread these things out. Not critical what size it is. Smaller the better. I grabbed, I think, a 9/32 drill bit. We got her cut. Let's get her hot. Okay, first thing we're going to do, one of the tines, convenience bend. Right at the hole that you have drilled. Bend it back past 90 so it's out of your way. And we're going to start forging this out. Get some more heat. You want to keep it as thick as the parent stock, or roughly therein. If you get it too thin, it's gonna, every time you take the jar off, it's gonna bend the tines around, loosen them up. So I made a mark, 3.5 inches. Draw it up 3.5 inches, and then we're gonna taper it the rest of the way out to those 4 1/4. Yes, out to 4 1/4 inches. So next heat we'll start drawing it out. And then we're going to start drawing a taper. Take your time to clean it up before you get too far. Perfect. Alright. Next heat we come out, we're going to do a rat tail on the end. Rat tail goes to the outside. This way you end up with this. Rat tail on the outside. There we go. Alright. Next heat we're going to come out. We're going to bend this one back over and straighten the other one out and start drawing that one out. We'll give this side a convenience bend. Bend this side back out. Past 90, so it's out of your way. Next heat, draw her out.
That's right. Every slice of cheese pizza is only $1 all day, every Monday. They do takeouts, pickup, and delivery 7 days a week. They even do catering. Visit the all-new Tony's Pizzeria and Deli on Black River Boulevard across from the Fire Hall in Rome. Get out of the house, take in some fresh air, and enjoy the annual Drive to Yourself Fall Foliage Tour brought to you by the Lewis County Chamber of Commerce. Drive through beautiful Lewis County, visit a special event, or tour one of the many historical locations we have to offer. Pick up a map today at the Chamber office, Kenny Drive in Melville, the Falls Pharmacies and Libraries, or online at AdirondacksTugHill.com/fallfoliage. The 2018 Drive to Yourself.
Straight on. Alright, next heat this area up so you can bend this other one back, straighten them out, and we'll move on. Don't forget to put your rat tail in like I just did. So next heat, we'll put the rat tail in. Not really the ideal way to do that one, but it worked. Alright, so next we're going to open it up like a T. Just enough so you can get in there. Line it up with your hole. Start bending it over. Some more heat up and clean it up. basically what you're looking for. Okay, so next heat will actually be at the vise with the jig. Two and 3/4 inch OD exhaust pipe is all it is. You put a little notch on it so that your center part where your hole is lines up there. Line it up. That nice little V you've got there. Bend her on around. Or like that, you don't want her in too far. Should be just a nice little bend. Otherwise, when you try and put it on the mug, it's going to be too tight. Now, it's a warning you right now, there's a whole lot of fiddling and fussing to get these to fit right. I take a little hammer, just give it some cleaning up, make sure the edges are even. Doesn't have to be perfect at this point. And that's what you're going to end up with. Alright, next heat we'll be back at the anvil. Okay. From the end of that little notch or little V there, mark it back an inch from the bottom of that. Decide which side you want to show, or which side you want the inside. I like this side better, so the opposite side, the side you want the inside as, on the bottom of that little notch or V or whatever, give it a light center punch mark at an inch. So this is where we're going to make our first bend. Okay. Find your center punch mark. You're going to line it right up at the edge of your anvil. I usually do the dot just on the outside of the edge of the anvil. Start bending it over. And you're not going for a square corner. I prefer to use soft face for this. You should end up with something like this. Don't let it bend down too much. Should be just about horizontal. Okay, now we're going to flip her over, get the other end hot. Flip her over, and the back side of the handle, chamfer that edge down. Don't let her fishtail on you.
Employees and customers, submit a resume via email, mail, or in person at Christmas Fuel Service, 3529 Old State Road, Carthage, New York, 13619. Email your resume to ChristmanFuel@AOL.com.
Basically something like that, if you can see that.
Due to their steadily growing satisfied customer base, Christmas Fuel
Hey, heat her up.
Service is indeed. It's answered prosciutto.
Okay, I'm going to start rolling the edge over. Bring it back towards yourself. Straighten it out. And get her hot. And we're going to run a 3/8 strip through it. I said 3/8, I meant quarter. Drop forge it. Pulling the Yamas. Alright, so that's what you end up with. 1/4 inch. Clean it up a little bit. And we'll move on to the next step. Now's a good time to put your touch mark in. Gosh. Unfortunately, I haven't got a touch mark made yet. And it'll be a hell of a lot nicer when I do, because you never get these damn things even. Okay, roughly from the very bottom of your scroll, back an inch, take a mark. Doesn't have to be a heavy mark, just enough to see it. You're never really going to notice it anyway. Get her hot and then we're going to bend her up. Find your mark. Soft face hammer out. Read at your mark and start curling it around. This is where you're going to be fuddling and fighting with it. You got to remember, if it's down too low, it's going to touch the whatever you got the jar set on, so it's not going to stand. So you got to try and bring it up, which you got to have it behind here, otherwise it's going to make it kick out to the side. Okay, good point to show you. I brought them in, but now your tines are too tight, so you can't get it over the jar. So just give it a little heat, take a pair of pliers, and just stick it out a little bit, both sides. Okay, so we got it all done up. I'm a freaking dumbass. I don't know why I did it. I scrolled up the wrong way. Scroll's supposed to go on the bottom. So we're going to straighten this bastard back out, scroll it the other way, and then bend it. Shit happens. Anyway, fits quite nicely. Always use a test jar because, as you can see, I have some chips. So, yes, scroll it the other way and then bend it up. I might actually go out a hair more on this instead of an inch, maybe an inch and a half. just didn't come out the way that the way I normally do them. And I actually looked at the picture and I was like, oh, you idiot, you've done it the wrong way. So let's get this bastard in the fire. While we're waiting for that to heat up, I also added 2 more spikes onto my little anvil block. So, I'm looking for a quick and easy anvil block. And you got a welder. Hell, if you don't have a welder, it gives you a chance to try forge welding. So, anyway. Alright, there she is. All cleaned up. If it needs an adjustment, just stick it in your vise. Right about in here, and just give it a little bit of a squeeze. Just tightens it right up. Same thing, quarter turn, pulls it out. That's it. Like, share, whatever else we're supposed to do. Have a wonderful day. Smash some metal. Later.